Hello everyone, I'm Rob Smith. This is Smith in the Black channel here at Ticker Talker, and if it's halftime, it's strat time. So what's going on here? We're going to take a look here, and as you go to SPY, on things you want to look for here. What happened yesterday? Outside day, if you go to the upper left, all right? And so how do we know about that? Well, because we know outside bars exist. So if we go like this here, yesterday, once this starts coming back through previous range and going red and coming through here, you look for signals to take this out at least, right? Because we know outside bars exist, which it did. And so a lot of people will be sitting there going, what's the news? What's the news? You act like you've never been stopped out before. So all it is some garden variety coming back through a previous range. Do we talk about that? We do a lot, right? And so what that does is anybody long saying, oh, we're just going to go back up to the highs, right? They're getting stopped out. And so we call that the pivot machine gun. So when you start coming back to the previous range, and you got sellers in there because you're red on the day in 60, right? And so what that does is it accelerates the selling because people long tend to be long against obvious pivots. Here, 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 here. Oh, it's going to double bottom, stopped out, back up, right? So then you come in this morning, and things when they go out on the lows, you know what looks bad going out on the lows? Everything, right? And so then when you come in today, like, what's it doing? Boom. This is a 2 down, 2-2 reversal on the 60, right back up. Where's it going? Back through previous range and take them all out and go back into the highs, right? There's your broadening formation like so, that is now expanded, right? So if we go back to that daily up into here, right? These are an outside bar of all that. This is just trying to expand that. So this is important because if they took out the previous highs and lows, they could do it again, right? They didn't do that today, though. Right now, it's staying green and staying above here. But this level here, the outside day, you want to stay above that 337.54, right? And so we'll continue to monitor the 60. We're always doing that. What's the new 60 doing, right? Here. Like so, staying good, right? So far, we don't have a reversal against us. This was the 2-2 reversal here. Continuation, continuation. Now we got a new 60. What are we going to do out of here? Q's your leaders. Q's waking up. Now, we knew what the Q's were having some problems taking out last week's lows, right? Then you come in today, upper left. That's a 2-2 reversal day back up through previous range. NASDAQ's back. After what? Stop them out. Oh, that looks bad. Does it? Boom. Right back up, right? And so you can see here down here in the lower left, stop them out, get back to the previous range, going out near the lows, everything looks bad until you get your 2-2 reversal on the 60, boom, back to previous range. So a lot of things picked up a little bit of steam there. You've got the SMH here, semiconductors. Here, you can see this, taking out these highs, coming back to the previous range, right? Tried to take out last week's lows, did, but then what happened? You got your reversal back right here with the rest of the gang and back to the previous range. It's giving you Qualcomm. Qualcomm sticking it to them. I want to go back in time on here. If you go way back in Qualcomm, realize, is it all-time highs? As a matter of fact, it is. Remember, you thought we would never take this stuff out, the 2000 highs? Did, right? So there you go with the Qualcomm. So if we go back to here, so Qualcomm just exhaustion risk by going into the highs, and here you can see in the upper left the outside bar and then taking it out. There's your range expansion on both sides and then your continuation. Just a little bit of exhaustion risk going to the highs. We'll see if you can get an inside 60 here in the next hour. In Qualcomm, and there's AMD coming up here. AMD here on the daily upper left, you see the 2-2 reversal there. Still red in the middle on the weekly, so maybe some issues there. Keep an eye on these broader averages, still sticking near the highs. You have NVIDIA here upper left, 2 down, 2-2 reversal back through the previous range, right? Doing that, trying to challenge and take that inside middle up there, trying to go back green on the week as you come back. Look at this. This is why we call it pivot machine gun, back through the previous range. Take all these guys out. Now the question is going to be strong enough for that. Keeping an eye on these futures here. AVGO. Talk about that. We did. In AVGO, here in the lower middle, we talked about this inside month to the upside. That's still good. Now yesterday, they were messing with them, stop them out, going to the highs and come all the way back out. Not weak enough to take this out, right? So here was a higher level formation. It wasn't weak enough to actually come down and make the lower low. Oops, let me get rid of that for you. Oop, wrong one. We'll get it. All right. So you'll see this here. like so. There was the broadening formation, but then it made a sub one in here. It wasn't weak enough to take this out. Then 2-2 reversal right here, right? So what we call this is a simultaneous break, right? Almost everything did a 2-2 reversal on the 60 on the opening. So if you're trying to fade that, good luck. That's almost impossible to reverse when you have like 90% of the things breaking in the same direction, right? So if we go to Tesla going to do a 5-for-1 split, and they like that. And so Tesla just guns back up on the daily through previous range. Here, you can see this though, all this weekly stuff just kind of stuck in here, and we can expect that back and forth because of the inside month here. We also have some solar coming up here, FSLR. FSLR here, you can see this on the upper left. Inside day, down, and then back through, rev strat, right? 1, 2, 2, and trying to take this back out. Still an inside week. We'll be aware of that, but that tells us we can look at the other solar, CSIQ. And CSIQ here in the upper left. Upper left, the daily 2 down, 2 back up, and coming back to the previous range. That's what we can expect because it's still an inside week in the inside middle. How about JKS? What are you doing over there? JKS, here you can see this. Upper left, inside day, down, back through, right? So we're going to try and take all the way up through here, albeit still in the inside middle, you got the inside week, right? Now here's the measured move you're looking for. If you go to lower left, you can see the 60. Up, sideways, get. So we can watch all those solars together. Look at GOSS. Here we go. GOSS came out firing this morning, and you see this. I don't know if it's inside week or not. But green on all time frames. And once again, here's what we look for. The 2 up, the 2 down, and boom. These become an outside bar of all that. Still going on here. We'll see if that sets up again. SPY's still hanging around the highs. Diamond's kind of flagging it out here like so middle. Right, middle of the range. Diamond's kind of lagging here, if you will, compared to the Qs and the SPY. We'll get to that in a second. We also had some of the transports, FedEx, still going. We've been talking about this? Yes, because of the big previous ranges coming through, right? It's still going here on the dailies. You can still 2 and up. Tried to take a little profits yesterday because we know the UPS did this. Goes blasting into the highs, and then yesterday took a little profit, and now maybe an inside day. But FedEx for right now, still going. Corvo in the semis just hit the highs. Here, let's see if you're going to get anything out of that. I could still use some more room on that. If we go to NTES. NTES, now inside in the 60 in the lower left. Once again, pattern we're looking for. 2 down, 2 up, boom. Back to previous range, and you'll see these two become an outside bar of all that. The question is going to be strong enough to take that out. Q still hovering near the highs. We had also a little bit from the XLP here. A little boring, but it is what it is. You can see this nice run through here, taking out yesterday's highs, and you've got Procter & Gamble here. Coming up into the highs, you've got SJM here, taking out the previous highs, so we'll see an SJM also inside month here down in the lower middle, coming up on that. Kimberly-Clark was coming up as well. Let's take a look. Kimberly-Clark, just exhaustion risk going into more highs, but once again, this is how you get in on these things. 2 up, down, triangle layout. Boom, take these 2 guys out. On the downside, we had some, like I said, keeping the Dow down, you're Boeing. Talked about this in the Strat Attack last night, as well as the nightly video, I believe. Once again, here's your 2-2 reversal on the daily, right? And so goes up and then takes this low out here and starts tanking again. Then you go inside in the 60 in the lower left, right? Still consolidate, then down. We got a new 60, and albeit green on the week and the month, because it's all stuck in here, like these 2 bars, these 2 weeks, we can expect this thing to chop back around, back and forth. The good thing is there's enough movement on that to take the profits off when they happen. Let's see, Netflix. Netflix also trying to do a little reverse here, right? So you can see upper left, we talk about this on the short side, the Rev Strat week, to come down and take this out in the upper middle, which it did. Right? The question is, then it going to be weak enough to come down here. So if not, you get your slight lower low, and now trying to go 2-2 back up, which gives you a broadening formation, which looks like this. Here. Like so. So, okay, so back to some downside, because we had NVAX. What we got here? NVAX coming down, and NVAX here takes out last week's lows in the upper middle, goes red on the lower middle. right? And so now you can get stuck here in the lower left. You can see these 60s getting stuck in here. We'll see if that sets up again. Apple going to the highs right now, more tack. Here was a really nice 15-minute right here. Here's what you look for: the dump, the inside, and then the dump. And then you have exhaustion risk because you're going into lows, taking out a bunch of stuff, right? And then here's that new bar, right? So now it's trying to creep back up. We'll see how about Marna. Marna gets stuck in here, but we'll see here if you go, because you have this daily here up in the upper left, right? We know outside bars exist. So what's the next two of this? How are you going to turn this around without taking this out, right? So we're going to keep an eye on this for the rest of the day and maybe coming into tomorrow. Q's trying to go back to the highs as I speak. More pandemic things trying to come down. Marriott here trying to do the 2-2 on the daily, not totally getting killed, but the cruise ships, CCL, there's your 2-2 in the upper left. RCL coming down, so we'll see if these things reset up right now. Inside 60, we'll see if those set up again. SWKS goes to the highs here. How's that doing? That looks like another 3-2 coming back up with the semis. SMH. INO, more pandemicers coming down. And I know if you go to the lower middle, talked about this in the Strat Attack last night, right? You've got inside month to the downside. And so right now stuck in this bar here for now. We'll see how that goes. All right, we've got SRNE also is coming in here. SRNE now coming back. Had a nice little dump in the morning though. This thing here, but now coming back, we'll see. CODX. And CODX, you can see this. Here's your inside bar reversal in the upper middle. Now, if you go to the weekly, look at this. There's your 2-2 reversal on this. This thing's tanking off of this reversal, which also takes the monthly back. Red now just coming back up off of 30. We'll see if that sets up again. Things just drying up a little bit. You got Beyond the Meats. Beyond the Meats doing this. Beyond, if you go to your weekly, is this something we look for? It is. The inside bar, upper middle, poke up, stop them out, and then come back to previous range. Now we're going to look, see if we can take this thing out here. That's going to be down about 120.32. If they can hit it, and the good thing about that, then you might go to the lower middle and maybe take out the monthly lows from last month. That would be good. The financials coming in, FAS. A little bit still inside the FAS. How's XLF? XLF a little worse. You can see trying to go outside, and you've had like JP Morgan coming in a little bit there, and outside day mirror price here going 2-2 day on the downside. So just a couple of those. We also had some REITs coming in, VNQ, and VNQ. Okay, VNQ stalling out now, so it looks like they hit it and bring it right back. But VNQ, that's not what I was looking for. Yeah, we had like VNO coming doing the 2-2 reversal on that. BXP. A couple of the REITs, so it's always good when you can have a concentration. That's 3-2 outside and then continuation on that kind of thing. Also had FLT is also an inside day to the downside. Here's a continuation, upper left, down, inside, and down, so we can look for that to continue. Once again, on the lower middle, you're going to see took out the inside month, then turned right here. We're looking to take that out, which it did. And so we'll see if we can expand that. Once again, if you go upper middle, you see the outside week still expanding on that. Right now, broader average is still holding gains here. Netflix trying to go the highs. Amazon trying to go the highs. And then we had stuff like General Dynamics also countering some of these monthly signals that we've been looking for. But we can look and see if they set up again sometime in the future. Right now, so you had semiconductors and tech leading the strength. Had some weakness in the FAS financials to a certain extent, and REITs. Strength in the solar. We also had some strength in some truckers, so you can keep an eye on ODFL, XPO in the transports. Once again, all my videos that I shoot here at Ticker Talker are free if you come to the Smith in the Black channel right here, and I'll be here every day telling you what we're looking at. That's going to do it for today. I'm Rob Smith in the Black channel here at Ticker Talker with Strat Time Report.